Thank you for watching the Triple F podcast. This comes out tomorrow when we're filming, so June 12th and 13th. We're in Fort Worth and Dallas. Josh and I will also be in Oklahoma City the 15th and 16th at respective shows. I have the link in my bio for those shows.
Patreon.com/triplefpod
for an extra episode. Check out our sketches on the Good Girl page, and we love you.
And if you're watching this and you clicked on this and you don't know who we are, you clicked on it because there's a hot lady and you're a pervert. Goodbye.
Boom. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Duo F podcast. We got no Jeff in the house today. Jeff is MIA in MIA.
He's actually in Palm Beach Gardens.
But he's in Florida.
He is in Florida, yeah.
Back to the motherland.
Me and you. Yeah, he went back to the motherland. We're back to dark times.
Yeah, we're back in the
back in the living room, just me and you, just trying our best. Everybody's going, "Where's Jeff?"
Yeah, everybody's like, "Hey, everybody's Jeff isn't here and the podcast isn't good anymore." I'm like, all right,
we don't really like you're not our numbers are going down, and it's just us. I wonder why. Like, what's that about? Ha 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 ha.
It's good times.
No, it's good. We just weren't.
When's the last time you cried?
It's actually a great question, Josh. Like a full boo-hoo.
Like a.
Oh,
like a.
It's been a while since I did like one of those. I've had tears in my eyes within the last 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah.
Like on my way home at one day on the highway, it's like 1 a.m. Just put on my day list from Spotify. They go, "You want to be sad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's 1 a.m."
Yeah.
And so then I was sad.
In the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with
feeling bad about myself.
Nothing wrong with car crying.
I almost selectively cry in the car.
Like you try to.
I know, I don't really try. That's just where it happens because it's like I'm driving, so I can only distract myself with my phone so much.
Yeah, you can only text and drive a little bit.
I can only text and drive. I can only scroll Instagram a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I just have like country music on, and I'm just like, maybe I do miss her.
Yeah.
Maybe I did fuck everything up.
Yeah.
Maybe it was my fault, even though she lied the entire relationship.
Yeah. Country music, baby.
Country music, you know what I mean?
Country make you think at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I've started getting into country.
Me too, dude. I've been easing my way in with, the worst version. I think people don't respect it as much, but I just became a huge Zach Bryan fan.
No. So here's the thing. I said this the other day. I was talking to somebody, and I said, I like some country, and they're like, "Oh, what do you like?" And I was like, I like Zach Bryan, and they were like, oh, it's like not even real country. I'm like, no, Zach Bryan is. Morgan Wallen literally had Lil Durk on one of his songs.
Yeah.
He is, I think, listen, I'm not a country aficionado. I think people who have been listening to country their entire lives because their dad and their grandpa and their great-grandpa listened to it might listen to Zach Bryan and go, nah. But, like, Morgan Wallen has 808s in his beats.
Yeah.
He has beats.
He's got beats. He doesn't have instrumentals. He's got beats.
Morgan Wallen is doing country music to beats.
Yeah.
Metro Boomin's going to produce the next Morgan Wallen album. I shut my whole ass up and made some drums.
Try that in a small town. The remix with Metro. Metro Boomin wants some more.
Yeah.
If
try
Metro
that.
don't trust you, almost shoot you.
Yeah.
In a small town.
In a small town.
In a small town.
Yeah. I think Zach Bryan is real country. I like Tyler Childers a little bit.
Never. I haven't gotten to that guy.
There's a couple.
It's like it's like the same way that I like anything, where it's like if it's not the top thing, I probably won't. If it's not super popular.
Now, I have a question. Have you ever listened to a Jelly Roll song?
Dude, I've listened to his freestyle back in the day.
Well, his old
Jelly Roller hustler, attitude like fuck him up. Better get your girl fucked, gonna fuck her up.
Really?
Because I'm going to cuff her up.
I've never listened to that.
That's how he like blew up. I make her say my name 1,000 times like I'm Mike Jones. You don't know that song?
That's a good one.
Dude, he's got
is that the one where he's in like the old house? Like
he's doing like a house. He's in like a house in a polo. He's on probation or on a parole, and he's like, dude, in the video, people are just like going in the back and like doing bumps, and like you can see it.
It's
and he's
crazy
like
when.
Because he had that line that went crazy where he's like, and if my P.O. asks, I hang drywall, and everybody was like, holy shit.
I'm trying to think of how to say this thought without it seeming like it's my racist thought. It's more of a observation of the societal racism, which is like back when he was like Jelly Roll rapping, I'm selling drugs. If my POS, I hang drywall. It was like not a lot of people knew who he was. And then he was like, I'm going to try some country. And the white people were like, we're going to give you a fucking Grammy.
Yeah.
Like,
Here's best new artist.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not that I haven't listened to enough of his music, and he seems like a nice enough
seems like
guy.
he's cool. He hangs
and
out.
he
He's a
seems
good
like
hang.
he's all for like good shit. Like he
Yeah.
came from like drug addiction. Now he's doing great. I support it all, but it is funny.
Yeah. No, it is funny that they were like, listen, you cannot be rapping about that shit, but if you sing about it,
You want to hoop and holler about it.
you want to
I'll
hoop
let
and
you
holler
do
about it. Listen, we don't like when you rap about it, but you can hoop and holler a little bit.
Hey,
You wanna
how
hoop
about you put a banjo on one of them
Listen,
beats,
yeah,
boy?
yeah, dude. Hey, if you want to listen, I'm all for talking about slanging that dope if you're singing about it.
Yeah.
Don't be rapping about it. But you can sing about it. You
That's
can slow it down.
exactly what it is.
Well, it's like, I mean, it's crazy. It's it's Nelly doing the fucking the song with
Tim McGraw.
Tim McGraw back in the day.
Over and over
Over
again.
again.
I used to cry to that song.
I can't help it.
And I can't take
I
it.
can't take it.
Did
over
that
and over again.
And I think about her over and over again. Dude,
I can't picture you.
that
man.
song used to make me cry thinking about my third grade crush, Abby, who I think I've talked about on this podcast.
Was she the
One day I'm going to be famous enough where this Abby, who went to Rosary Middle School in Oklahoma City.
Rosary Middle School? That's how you know it's a Catholic school.
Yeah, it was. And I went to
Yeah.
Bishop John Carroll, and she went there in third grade. It would have been 2003. She knew my friend Lindsay Mativier, who was actually ended up being my first girlfriend also. One day I'm going to be famous enough where they're going to find out who she is.
Over and over again.
And
she's going to have like a family of
I
4.
bet you she's going to be fat.
Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah, that's how it goes.
I had a, it's funny, I discovered, because of social media, this happened like 4 or 5 years ago.
She moved to Iowa also. I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Maybe you know.
Maybe I know her. What was her last name?
She moved to Iowa. She's definitely fat.
Yeah.
If I knew her last name, I would just Facebook her.
Right. So I had I had a very similar situation with a girl I went to kindergarten with. I was like, I remember being like, man, when I was in kindergarten, I was like, I think I love this girl. Like, remember when you'd get like butterfly, like you'd actually have like emotions, and then it's like now it's kind of like.
Remember when you thought you had like the capacity to care for people?
Yeah, I remember when you remember when things matter. And, but like I remember thinking this girl was like, damn, like her name was Emily, and I was like, man, like. She moved away when I was when I was in second grade, and I was like, I wonder whatever happened to her. And then I 10, 15 years later, like I found my old kindergarten like class photos, and it used to have everybody's name under it.
That's what I need. I need somebody from Rosary Middle School. I know people.
Yeah.
And be like, look in your fucking yearbook. Okay, that's what. Okay.
Yes.
I got
and
a
I found my kindergarten one, Mr. Pence's class, and I found her, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go to her Facebook to see what's happening. Boy, is she pushing 280. Yeah, I mean, boy, is she
like for real,
yeah,
like
big,
like big,
And it's
like
you
we
know
support
what?
your journurney.
No,
but
of
like,
course, it's just very funny because what I remember was like I remember her being like very pretty. Like I remember like looking at her and being like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And it's also funny because I'm like 6. It's really just like the first pretty lady that I've ever saw.
Well, it is funny because you, even as a grown adult, like you can remember like if you have that memory, if you have access to it, you can think about how pretty you thought that person was, and in your head, it's like that's still a pretty person, even though it's like a kindergartner.
Yeah.
If you think about it, if you remember something hard enough, you can become a pedophile. It can be pedophilia technically on accident.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, man. Yeah, actually, that's
like
kinda
if I
true.
think too hard about the first time I fingered a girl, it is a pedophilic thought.
Yeah, because you're remembering you 15.
I remember fingering Jackie Kirk to Transformers.
Did you like sync up with the movie at all?
Autobots.
Autobots.
Transform. Just like spray. No, I wasn't even all the way in, I remember.
Yeah, I remember
because you're through button jeans.
Yep.
And you couldn't
Do you
get
remember
in.
the first time? I mean,
Did you smell your fingers after the first time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it smelled like sweat. I don't even think I was
it
in there.
wasn't-
I think I was probably like in a crease.
You're just sort of in a gap. You're like just
I
in a
was just
fat
like
roll.
against 2 pieces of skin, and I was like, "This is the pussy."
Yeah. White bitches only take half the dick, man.
Yeah. You can't give them the whole
You
thing.
can't give them the whole thing, man. They
Yeah.
gotta earn that shit.
Yeah.
It is very funny to reflect on the first time. I remember the first time I touched a vagina while I was on I was turkey hunting and I came back early. And my cousin just got done tending the field.
My cousin had just got done hog hunting.
She done gutted her pig in the field, and then I said,
I said, gobble gobble.
gobble gobble.
My gobble gobble.
I got done turkey hunting, and I was on my way back from my dad was driving me because I was like youth turkey hunting, and I was getting a car ride back, and it was so cold. My fingies were cold because it's like I was in like 20 degrees in Iowa for like 2
Dad,
hours.
I gotta warm these up.
Yeah, and then
you
then I was
fingered your
texting her,
dad.
and she literally was like, I told her my hands were cold, and she was like, I got something you can warm them up with, and I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, and I was thinking she was talking her boobs. Because I was 14.
Yeah, you're only thinking tits
Yeah,
until you're
when you're
about 13. You're
Yeah.
only really thinking about tits.
Yeah, and then she rode her bike over classic, and then just on the couch, dude. I just sort of claw machine and a sandboxed it for the best part. I'm like,
I was just kind of scooping
I was
sand
just
into a pile.
I was just kind of like, did you come or?
Stop. Dude, one time.
Oh, by the way, I got skunk. I didn't get a turkey that year either. I want to.
Youth turkey hunting is hilarious. It's a league.
It just yeah, I was on travel turkey hunting.
Yeah. I remember one time there was this park by my house. It was not a park, actually. It was the parking lot of a church. And this is where I lost my virginity. And I hooked up with a girl in her car. She could drive. I could not. So I rode my bike there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just had to like lay my bike down in the grass, hook up in her car. And then I remember it's such a funny thought to think about being like, that was really great. And then just like having to ride off on a bicycle.
She's
But
like,
that's what you do. You do whatever you
yeah,
can.
you're dangerously horny back then.
You really are.
Yeah.
You
There's
really
danger,
are.
There's danger
I got
of
on
horny
a
levels.
I got on a 12-gear mongoose and rode like 2 miles to this church to hook up in the parking lot in broad daylight.
Yeah.
It was the middle of the day in the summer.
You did cardio to get
I did, dude. And now I would never.
No.
If somebody was like, I need you to jog a half mile and I'll let you have sex with me, I'd be like, tough.
You're like, I can walk half of it, maybe.
Yeah. If I can walk,
Can
maybe.
I shuffle?
Yeah. Could I?
Is shuffling an option?
What about one of those walks where my upper body looks like I'm jogging, but I'm
yeah,
walking?
just fucking.
Yeah, you know the cross the street walk?
Yeah, it's like you're trying to scratch your back walk.
Yeah, where you're like, sorry, I'm going to get through. I promise I'm rushing across the street I shouldn't be walking across.
Dude, that is there is some beauty in there is like a sliding scale of like the terrorist threat levels where it's like
Different colors,
the
yeah.
different colors. It's like green, we're all good, and then like red, it's like it's World War III.
Yeah.
There's a horny scale that teenage boys live mainly in the orange and the red.
Yeah.
Where it's like if something doesn't happen, I'm gonna do something I shouldn't.
I mean, dude, I know I have the...
That sounded kind of assaulty.
You're not going to assault
I'm
anybody.
not assault. I'm talking like you're gonna do like jack off in your grandma's bathroom at Thanksgiving. It's like, well, they shouldn't. That's crazy. You shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't be that horny that
You're
going
gonna
to
sexually assault your grandmother's bathroom.
Yeah, you're not gonna.
Not
you
a person.
No, and then it's
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, like I have it in one of my jokes, but like I used to send pictures of other penises. That's how horny I was, but I didn't have a camera, so I would Google image search penises and send that.
You're just adapting and overcoming.
Honestly,
that's like a good trait for that's like what the military looks for.
Honestly, it was kind of smart because technically I was under 18. So if I'd sent myself, it would have been CP technically.
But you were receiving CP still.
No. Sometimes, yes. As a child. As a child. Yeah.
As a child.
As a teenager under the age.
You know what is
every
funny
once
that they
in a
used
while,
to
yeah.
say when people would be pregnant, they'd be like, she's with child.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't like that at all.
I like it so much.
Very uncomfortable. She's with child.
She's with child. Don't touch her. She's with child.
I remember one time, the same parking lot. I hooked up with my ex, didn't get to come, and then I made it maybe 4 blocks before I jerked off into my shorts while I was driving my car. I was on my way home, which was 4 more minutes away. Didn't make it home.
Damn.
That's the orange and
you were
red
in the red.
level.
You were in the red.
I was in the red, like, you know when like the thing is like,
yeah, it's like shaking.
It's like shaking. It's like
alarms are
going
off.
Yeah, it's like
some guy's sweating at his like he's having his hands.
Oh
over
God,
a
he's at red. What's he
do
doing?
I hit the button? Do I hit the button?
What's he doing at the stop sign?
No. Come.
Yeah.
Come.
He has to come now.
Yeah, come now.
It's like that episode of SpongeBob where they're
Yeah,
going
yeah,
crazy
yeah,
in his
yeah.
brain. It's like some guy that does
Fine
just like,
dining and breathing.
release the cum.
Release the cum.
cum,
You
or
just
he's gonna-
you looked over. You saw a lady mowing her yard, and you're like, nope.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, did she look at me?
And then I just have to walk in my house, just
Tons of cum.
just with a like young boy amount of cum in my pants.
Yeah, yeah.
I just have to be like, she's like, and then my
Which
mom's
can
just
be
like,
either
how
a
was
lot-
practice? I'm like, great. Really is great.
Getting some good shooting in.
Yeah, a lot of great shots.
Lot of
Yeah,
great-
a lot of good, well-earned shots.
Yeah, they had great D.
Yeah,
That's what they were saying.
Shots from deep.
From deep,
I was hitting them from deep, mama.
deep three.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting some back court shots. I don't know.
Damn.
Or do you get what
We
I'm trying to go
we
for.
really love riffing about the old days.
The old days are for somebody who didn't really have like this, like I wasn't like a fucking
Cool
sports
kid
star.
or
Yeah, I wasn't
star.
like I
Kind
do
of a-
miss the old days. I wasn't like a guy who's like, man, I used to play quarterback. It's like I just had fun a lot.
Yeah, no.
Just fun. It just when things were easier, man. Just getting high. And
Yeah, dude, I
getting
miss
drunk
when
all
I
the
used to be
time.
able to get high without it scaring people.
yeah, or
like-
scaring me.
or scaring
Yeah,
yourself.
I miss getting high when it didn't scare the shit out of me. You know what I mean? It's not even like
We have very different.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
very
you're like-
funny takes. I'm like, it didn't scare other people. You're like, it scares me now, so I can't do it.
yeah. Getting high when it didn't scare me. You don't really appreciate it because
Dude,
you're 15.
I remember one day being at I had these friends, William and Michael Jewell, identical twins, and their house was kind of the party house because their parents were like relatively oblivious, but also I think their dad kind of knew, but he used to be like kind of the guy, so he was
Yeah.
just kind of like, all right,
do
whatever.
it here.
RP to him, he's dead, and
They always are. They always
They
die.
always are, aren't they?
They always
Yeah.
die. Those guys always die.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of those. Well, my dad used to let me drink at my house and have the kids over as long as we did it there. Those guys don't live past 65. Those guys have cirrhosis of the liver pretty early on.
For sure. And I remember just like smoking weed out of like a one hitter, like the ones that are like
The
colored like a
onesies?
cigarette,
Yeah.
and being so high and just watching. You've seen the Marshawn Lynch "Hold My Dick" video, right?
Yeah,
where he's
yeah.
diving in and he's like "Hold my dick," or
Yeah.
the Greg Jennings video.
Yes.
This the Greg. We go inside the mind of the Greg Jennings. I'll put the team on my back.
The hardest hitting safety in the
like,
league.
Darren Sharper. Get off me, pussy.
One of the most hardest hitting safeties in the league.
And then the video where, have you seen the one where the dog is running around on the beach, like in the water, and then it starts to shit?
Yeah.
Oh, Joby, what? Oh, damn, dog, you done shit yourself, dog. Oh, now you're walking in it. It's like that. And dying laughing. Just like uncontrollable laughter. That is only achieved once a year as a grown adult.
Yeah.
Where you're just like really dying.
happy.
And
As
and
an adult, you really do get one big laugh.
you
a year.
get like one uncontrollable belly laugh maybe every 6 months as a comic. I think we get them a little bit more
maybe you get
often.
a little bit of a treat once in a while.
Yeah, but that's it. And those were the days.
Those were
bro.
the days.
Or just like drinking like 4 tall boys in like 30 minutes and then going in the bathroom and checking my heart rate.
Yeah,
Like, just being like, yeah, I might die.
Yeah,
You
dude.
know?
There's nothing better than going to the parking lot of a high school with a vodka and a water bottle and just crushing half of it. You and your boys being like, what? And then going, like, it tastes like shit. It's warm. It's been in there for 3 days, but you guys have been doing it. Dude, fucking shout out to Alex Bales, dude. So my buddy and I, God, it's really one of those things where you learn to pick pick who you do bad things with, and like when you're at a young age, you don't really know. My buddy Alex and I were seniors, and he was like one of those guys who he would like fake drink. Do you remember people who like fake drank?
Yeah.
They would act like they were like really drunk, but they wouldn't be drunk because it's high school, so you're just like,
Yeah.
He would be like, I had like 6 shots, dude. And it's like he didn't even like do anything.
Yeah.
And so we went to my car because he told me like, he was like, it's a half day tomorrow. Let's get drunk today.
Bring some of your dad's brandy.
Bring some of the dad's old Milwaukee. Yeah. And so I stole a bottle of Burnett's from a liquor store. Shout out to Northside. And I don't know. I just did I just did a Jeff move.
Shout out to Northside.
Jeff always goes shout out, and he points right at the camera. I am Jeff. And
yeah.
But
whoa, where'd that hair come from?
yeah. Hey, whoa, come on. What are we doing?
Jeff's bald.
Yeah. Shout out to Jeff, you bald ass motherfucker.
He won't listen to this.
No, he won't. And tag him in the comments. And also comment on all these videos, by the way. But I had so it was the next day was a half day. My buddy was like, dude, let's just get drunk today. It's like after lunch, let's get drunk, go to the last half of class. Then tomorrow after school, we can do it again. And I was like, that sounds like fun. So we drink in the parking lot. It's just me and him. And I take like, I don't know, like 5 or 6 shots or whatever it would have been, whatever equivalent. I'm taking huge pulls because I'm like 16. I don't know not to control myself. And then he walks into school, and I'm like, he was like, you got to be cool, man. Like, make sure nobody knows, whatever. Like, chew gum and blah, blah, blah. He's like trying to give me the rundown. We walk in, and he just goes up to the first group of people and is like, dude, Josh and I just slugged half a bottle. Then my cousin Ian, shout out to Ian, who I know is listening, was working in the office. And, dude, he used to be like he was like a freshman. He was like, he used to be at one of his class periods. He would help the receptionist at the desk. That was like one of his extra classes. And he was doing that instead of study hall. And he finds out that the police are there to look for me and Alex Bales. Because Alex is like running his mouth.
Yeah.
And so I drove drunk home on like a Thursday afternoon and I was like hammered. I was like 16. And then I got home and my dad just happened to be on lunch that time. And he was like, what are you doing home so early? And then I was like, I don't know. And then I was like, I don't know. I'm like hammered. And then he was like, are you fucking drunk right now? Have I told you how I don't drink and drive? Have I ever told you how I like refuse to do it?
Did he fuck you up?
Because he beat the shit. I got my ass whipped at 2 p.m.
Yeah, that's a classic dad. Your kind of dad.
Yeah,
that's a
I got my ass beat at 2 p.m. because Alex was like, dude, don't tell anybody. And then he walks in, and then within it couldn't have been 10 minutes later, my cousin's like, I get like 6 calls from my cousin while I'm sitting in class, and he's like, leave now. Leave.
Shout out to Ian.
Shout out to Ian.
Honestly,
and I fucking did. I dipped out, baby.
Dude, yeah, it's funny because we used to get drunk. We had off-campus lunch my senior year, so you could leave, and it is like truly all you want to do when you like find out about getting fucked up is like just be the guy, like you just want to get fucked up, but like you don't think about it. Like we would get like a 45-minute lunch.
Mm-hmm.
We would spend 10 of that getting to my house, 20 of that drinking, and then you got to get back. You got to be in class, and then you're just drunk. Like in trigonometry, which makes it way harder than it already is. I did most of those classes sober and I had a C.
Yeah.
So it was like, now I'm drunk in this class.
Yeah.
And then by the next class, I didn't have enough time to drink enough to like sustain myself. Now I just have a ripping headache.
Yeah. You're just dehydrated.
And I'm just, basically it's just like purposely dehydrating and making
practice.
Yourself stupid. Yeah, and then sometimes you had practice after. And then I just feel like shit.
Dude, our in my high school, our like the best pitcher in my grade would get high as like he would like smoke like an eighth and then go pitch games. And
that's kind of sick.
It was legit like Kenny Powers. Like he would just be like, dude, like, and he like didn't. He had like shaggy, flippy hair. He was really short, but he was like he had a cannon, just throwing like 85, 80, or like 85, like 90 when you're like, I don't know, like 16 is crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
It's great, and he would just be high the whole time. He had a puka shell necklace that he would wear.
Of course.
Shout out to puka shell necklaces. By the way.
Puka shell necklaces are something that like there's a fashion is cyclical.
Yes.
Puka shell necklaces haven't really made their comeback, though.
Not yet.
And I'm wondering if they will.
No. I think pukas have ran their course.
How in would they have to be for, like, you to start wearing one again?
I would never wear. I'm just not a necklace guy though.
I'm not either. You're not a watch guy either, huh?
I used to be.
I'm not a watcher. Evan, dude, Evan spent when he got it, he got a promotion and shit. Shout out to Evan. A lot of shout outs this episode.
Yeah.
Shout out to Evan, my brother. And he got like a watch. It was like a nice watch. And I was like, that's so stupid. And he was like, no, I like him, whatever. Then we were at dinner and a guy came up, a guy was serving us, and he was like, he named the watch and he was like, that's very nice, sir. It was like an older guy, and my brother was like, thanks. And I was like, I take it back.
That is the coolest watch I've ever seen.
I guess it's kind of cool then. But it was also like an old guy who looks like he would like watches.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a guy who has 8 watches. It's like a guy who has more watches than he does women he's had sex with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Glasses.
Not that Evan doesn't. He did have glasses.
Yeah, I can describe him. Glasses. He had some type of gel in his hair for sure.
He had no hair.
Oh. Zinger.
Yeah.
Clean shaved or a little shadow?
I think he was clean shaved. This man was bald as hell.
Yeah.
Damn, now that I'm
Was it
thinking
just
about
Jeff?
it. It was just Jeff. Just Jeff being like, nice watch.
I bought a one time when I was 19, I bought a $1,000 Lacoste watch.
Sick.
And then
When I was dealing drugs, I went through a watch
Yeah.
phase where I wanted like a Gucci watch.
Yeah.
And instead, I bought like a $90 Marc Jacobs watch that was all gold.
Mm.
I bet I still have that thing somewhere. I
Somewhere.
might have thrown it away.
Somewhere that thing ain't ticking.
Yeah, dude.
That
Yeah,
thing
somewhere
ain't
that
ticking.
thing is way off time.
Yeah, I bought a $1,000 Lacoste watch, and then I played basketball with it. I did I was walking. It was when I was in the military, and I was walking across a basketball court. My friends were playing, and I was like, throw me the rock, and whatever. And I did it, and I shot. And then when I shot, for whatever, I don't even know what happened, but the whole thing just fell apart. It legit fell apart. And I was like, that's crazy.
That's what you get it for buying it at the flea market.
Nah, I know. I did get it at the I got it at the Lacoste store in Guam.
In Guam?
Yeah, I went to Guam for a while.
Where's Guam?
Somewhere.
Isn't that funny to be like, I've been there. What country is it in? One of them.
One of them. It's a territory.
Where is Guam?
I think it's it's definitely
Hey Siri,
it's like one of those islands.
where is Guam?
It's east, right?
It's an unincorporated organized territory, a part of the United States technically, I think. It's oh man. It's an island. Oh wow, yeah, it's an island and it's far. Oh, it's it's where is it? Holy shit.
Yeah,
Dude, you went to Guam?
Yeah.
Why were you in Guam?
I legally can't talk about it. No, it was a training exercise. We were there.
It's way west in the Pacific Ocean.
It's such a what do you want to call it? It's like a vacation. It's such a vacation destination and military. It's like Hawaii,
Mariana
but over
Islands.
there.
Dude, this kind of freaks me out. Have you ever zoomed out? When you think about this is the U.S., right?
Yeah.
And then you go over, this is Guam.
Mm.
And then you zoom, and you zoom, and you zoom, and you zoom, and you zoom. And then now that's Guam.
And it's big, by the way.
And that was it. You were there. And that there was nothing else anywhere close.
Yeah. Well, they use all those little islands to kind of use as launching points. So it's the whole idea is there's bases there in case something happens, and it's a midway place between you and Japan.
Dude, Guam is 212 square miles. That doesn't feel like it's 30 miles long and 9 miles wide.
Yeah.
That's so small.
Yeah. People get stationed out there for 3 years.
I'd kill myself.
Yeah, 100%.
Even Ben Gordon was talking about being in Hawaii, and I was like, I have zero interest in Hawaii. The thought of being on an island like that, stuck in the middle of the ocean, freaks me the fuck out.
Dude, I had a buddy who went on vacation in Hawaii with his girlfriend that he's dated for 6 months, and they broke up the first day they were there, but the vacation cost them $3,000. So they had to go.
It's the beginning of a romantic comedy.
Yeah, they had to go ziplining together after breaking up, and they went they were on jet skis together, they already rented. It literally is a romantic comedy.
It really is.
And then you think at the end they get back together, but no, she just slashes the tires in his car, and
Yeah. No, what happens is they break up on the first day, and then they're doing these activities together, but one of the guy or the girl, depending on who's the protagonist and antagonist, meets somebody else on the island.
Yeah, like
it's
they're
like Forgetting
instructors.
Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, they're
this
instructors
is
a little.
literally
Yeah,
the
yeah,
plot
yeah,
of Forgetting
yeah,
Sarah
yeah,
Marshall.
yeah.
I'm like thinking of this. I'm like, I'm so smart being able to fucking make this plot happen. It's like just exactly what happens in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. They just end up in the same spot, and then he meets Mila Kunis.
Yeah, and then they just fall in love.
And then they fall in love.
Yeah,
that's
no,
a
but he
great
was.
movie.
Yeah, dude, it's like. Did you know that they CGI'd her tits?
Whose?
Mila Kunis's.
On that picture?
Yeah.
No fucking
Those
way.
aren't her real tits.
Those
no.
aren't her real tits?
No, 100%. No. How many
Why?
times did you pause and jack it?
I was past the age of pause and jack, but I
Pause and jack is such a. That's such a classic like 5th grade move.
yeah, pause
You
and
go.
jack.
You go.
Well, we did just get TiVo, so I can now pause. You pause
Yo,
and jack.
shout out to 700 channels.
Yeah,
and then you,
dude.
Yeah, and all I
That
do-
always seemed like too many, huh?
Dude, yeah. And then there would be like, dude, the channels would be like, channel 300 to 600 would just be different music videos.
Yeah,
It's just like, what is this?
It was just like every genre of music you could think. It's crazy that there are still, like, somewhere it's somebody's job to update those
to the lineup.
those lineups.
So like tomorrow, you know what I'm really gonna do? I'm gonna put on some fucking Iggy Azalea.
Yeah.
Mix it in, dude. I'm gonna fuck
We're gonna
up
mix it in with
Fergalicious.
some Selena Gomez.
We'll switch up to Selena, and it'll be like the most dog shit songs from the 2000s. It's
Yeah.
like the channel.
Yeah, that's so funny because there is somebody who has a favorite one of those channels, and they put it on while they clean their house.
My mom loves doing it. My
That-
mom,
yeah.
the only man who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. You ever know that song?
No, I don't.
It's such a classic song. You want to know a fun?
I might just not know your rendition of it.
Yeah,
to be
that's
fair.
actually probably more accurate. So when I first started doing stand up, I might have told you this story already. When I first started doing stand up, I had this thought process where I'm like, I have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I was like,
Okay.
it's like I'm gonna bomb. It's gonna go bad. I need for it to not phase me. So how can I get it to not phase me? I need to do things that make me feel uncomfortable, and then just be like, this is fine, right?
Yeah.
So I went and sang karaoke,
Oh.
completely sober at 6:00 in Clear Lake, Iowa, to a room full of like 25 regulars at a bar. Like I thought this would help me get better at comedy. I was like, I'm gonna be bulletproof. Nope, nothing's gonna affect me.
That's
I've
so
already
fun.
done. And so I sang, "Can you take me high?" And then you don't realize how long that song is until there's 30 regular guys at a bar, 30 people who regularly attend this bar who are all friends with each other, turning and looking at you for like they're like, shut the fuck up. And then I'm like,
Dude. Dude, that's such a funny mindset to
I was like 2 weeks in.
to get in, to be like, it's you know what it is? It's like the military thing.
Yes.
It's or like even like a sports thing where it's like, get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've got to just put
Yesterday was
myself
the
out
easiest
there.
day.
yeah. It's like, yeah, it's just like, you got to fucking go out there, sing karaoke because you hate it. You're going to be uncomfortable, but next time you're on stage and that joke doesn't work, you're used to being uncomfortable.
Yes.
It's like, you could have just done stand-up.
Could have just went and did a spot.
God, that's so funny. I'm going to think that every time I see somebody do karaoke now, I'm going to think, is this a new open micer? Honestly, you know what? I'm going to start every once in a while. Somebody will message me. I'm thinking about starting stand-up. I don't know where to get
You know
started.
what I think you should do?
I'll be like, so first things first, find some open mics. Second thing, you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Go sing karaoke.
Pick the longest song you
Sober.
can. Go stone cold sober. You can't get drunk because you can't get used to being drunk on stage. Go there. Sing well.
You have to try.
You have to try because that's going to make it what? If you make it a joke, it's going to be just a joke. You have to make it uncomfortable. And then, dude, that's fucking funny.
It's brutal. It's brutal that I did it.
I'm going to actually start telling people that.
Do you want to do you want to know? Do you want to hear me actually try to sing?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah.
I feel comfortable.
What are you going to sing?
Don't fucking worry about it.
Do the Can You Take Me Higher, but sing it in your best singing voice, not like the Creed voice.
I want to do a song that I would actually sing, a song that I think that I can actually sing well.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Close your eyes. Give me your hand, darling. Can you feel my heart beating?
This isn't you trying your hardest.
This is. Do you feel the same? I fucked it up. Am I only dreaming? Or is this burning? Do you know the song?
I don't know the
An
song.
eternal flame. Say my name.
I've never heard
Sun
that.
shines through the rain.
I don't think I know that song. I will say this. If I have my
Pretty
music,
kind of nailed it.
if I have my music,
I might cut that part.
that was pretty bad. Definitely don't cut it. This is great content. I find myself singing in my car like a lot. Like when the music's up, I can't hear myself, but I feel like I'm trying. And then every once in a while, somebody fucking calls me. In that moment where you're just like, ultimate, and then you're like, it's like the music shuts off. I gotta think of a song. I don't know any songs that well off the top of my head.
I remember all my life.
I don't know that one.
Raining down as cold as ice.
That sounds pretty good.
Shadows of a man.
See, here's the thing. My throat's fucked up. I don't know what's going on
You
with
got a sore
it,
throat
but
for the past week and a half?
no. Why?
That's Step Brothers. When he's making excuses to not sing. I've had a sore throat for a week and a
Yeah.
half.
No.
You know what's funny? Jeff one time tried to convince me he can actually sing well.
This motherfucker.
And I'm like, shut up, Jeff.
He's like, I'm actually not bad at singing. I'm like, yeah, you are, dude. There's no way you're good at singing.
He's like, no, I could have done it. If I actually wanted to.
I was in the 3rd grade choir.
Were you?
Yeah.
Do you play any instruments?
Yeah. I used to play snare drum and like the xylophone because it's percussion.
Yeah.
And then I played the bass a little bit in the 8th grade. Played a little bit of bass. I don't know how to do any of it now.
Yeah.
It is kind of shitty. I played the cornet for a while, which is just a small trumpet.
Made up instrument.
No. It's a real instrument.
Cornet.
Coronet.
Hey
Siri, what's a coronet? Okay. Well, it says a corn is a buildup of hard skin near a bony area of toe or between toes. Well,
Actually, a corn is a thing that grows, you fucking idiot.
I don't want to talk shit, but like last night when we were at that riff show, and so last night, I don't like doing this about comics. I won't say his name, and he'll never see this, but we were at a show at a place that we love going to, and we were just hanging because we were going to go eat after with a guy who was on the show. There's a dude on stage. The whole idea, it's a high riff show. So basically they give out free joints, whatever. The comics and the crowds, the comics supposed to be high before they do their set, and they're supposed to riff. There's no written material, whatever. And the guy was like, somebody give me a thing to talk about. And then a guy went, popcorn. And the comic went, yeah, okay, yeah. Fucking, I'm gonna pop that corn. Yeah, I'm gonna pop that corn later.
Nothing. You guys just sing on.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop that corn later.
Anyways,
somebody else give me a suggestion. Yeah, it's so funny. And then at one point he was talking to somebody and he went, you guys have never been here before. And then I was talking to Spencer during it because I was like, he's so all over the place. He was like, oh, give it up for them for coming out for the first time. And then as soon as he said that and as soon as people started clapping, he went, and make some noise if you haven't been here before. And so like, everybody was clapping, kind of like, I have been here before. I can't, like, it was like, excuse. Make some noise for them and make separate noise. If you also
Give them some give them applause. Snap though, if you have been. Give me some snaps.
if you haven't been here before, snap. But also clap for them while you're doing it. You're gonna need clap on your wrist and snap with your right hand. I was fucking dying.
Yeah,
dude.
well, he's
It was.
I mean, I am convinced that he's half human, half bat.
He does kind of look like he's in the skin of somebody else.
Yeah, he definitely wears
He looks
there's
like
a zipper somewhere on him.
Yeah.
It might be at the bottom of his foot. You just unzip him. And
Nice guy.
great guy. Do you know what a murloc is?
No.
It's like a mythical creature. I know it from World of Warcraft, but it's half fish. It's like a centaur.
That's fucked.
It's like centaur, but it's like human legs, head of a fish.
And you think that's kind
Yeah,
of
and I think that's him.
Yeah, it checks out. Yeah, the poor guy. It was very
Great
funny.
guy. But it is
Really,
very
really
funny.
nice.
Yeah, super.
It was just funny because I will say that a riff show is really hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. The crowd suggestion thing. We did I've done the Comics Against Humanity thing where you riff about Cards Against Humanity.
I'm nervous for it.
Card. It is what it is, man. It can be fun. I personally love them, but I could see it is hard.
Yeah.
And it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, dude,
for
it's
sure.
scary.
And sometimes you got to pop corn. Sometimes all you can do is pop that corn, you know what I'm
Sometimes
saying?
you gotta pop that corn for a real motherfucker, bro.
Oh, God. Here comes
Oh, we got Omi.
Oh,
Making
here's
her
the...
last podcast
Oh,
appearance.
no. Man, you poor baby. Hi. Hi, sweet girl.
Look at you guys. If you
No,
guys want,
that's nicotine. You'll
If
die.
you guys want,
Well,
no, dude.
I'm kidding. Dude, it was so funny. Because comics, when they find out about your situation and they're talking about it, they're just unable to be human beings.
Yeah, everybody's like, I'm gonna make her into soup,
So
and I'm like,
everybody's just like, what if you like gave your dog to somebody and then they just killed it? And like, it's funny because I watch you try really hard to not be like, shut the fuck up for real. But I can hear you getting, and then you'll be like, no, she actually is like a really good dog. And I'm like, guys, you have, like, I don't say anything, but like at sunset last night, I was like, guys, you have to stop. This is like a real thing going on.
Yeah,
like, it's not like,
hey, man, this sucks.
hey,
for me.
like, this is like, they cry about this. You know what I
dude,
mean?
Yeah. The amount of DMs I've gotten from comics being like, I'll take her in as long as I can make chili with her. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing right now?
That's such a, what a
the
wild bit.
And the thing that sucks is that like the message that will pop up is like, I can take her in. And then I open the message. I'm like, oh my God, somebody. And then
as long as you let me smash.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, just comics trying to make jokes about it. It is funny though.
It's the only way
'cause
that comics know how to cope, though. They can't be humans.
they really can't. And I know how you are. And like, I know that in your head, you know, like, it's okay. They're comics. They're making jokes about a thing. It's
Yeah.
whatever. But whoa. But I know you well enough to know that it's bubbling.
Somebody's gonna catch one.
Somebody's gonna get a.
If there's a
Yeah, well, you fucking suck at comedy.
That's what I was gonna say.
Like,
I was gonna say if somebody at a lesser level will say, all it's gonna take is at this point it's been peers who have said stuff and people above or whatever. It's gonna take one guy who I'm like, I'm so much better than you. Shut your fucking mouth.
one guy who's bad at comedy is gonna get eviscerated for just trying to be a part of.
Yeah, that happened literally 2 nights ago.
Yeah,
with me.
yeah.
I was just like, shut your fucking mouth.
Hey, shut up.
Do you have 5?
Yeah. Do you even have 5 minutes?
It's a very funny. It's such a funny thing because in like to the average person that sentence would mean nothing, but to a comic it's like, oh.
Yeah. Do you even have 5 minutes?
Just walk away. They're like, yeah, I do. Then they start overthinking everything.
I did 7 last night, but some of it didn't actually go that good. Fuck. Yeah.
That's a fun. Have you ever? Okay, so let's just get to know each other at this point. Have you ever had? What's like the craziest insult anybody's ever said to you?
I mean, like people like low blow, like call me like a fucking junkie, shit like that.
Does that bother? Yeah, that would bother me.
No,
I think.
it's not. It doesn't because I know I'm like not. This is not even necessarily personal to me. Some of the like genuinely the most giving and loving people who I see help other people, like human to human, like go out of their way an extraordinary amount to help people, are people who used to be drug addicts.
Yeah.
So in my head, I'm like, yeah, you can say whatever about like this, about like junkies and how it is or isn't this or whatever. But it's like a lot of the ones who are like not actively using anymore are like better than most people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this about me. I'm fine with the human I am. I'm not saying I'm like some fucking like, I'm not out there, patting the homeless on the butt and giving them sandwiches and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't, but that's the meanest thing for sure.
Yeah.
Where people just, it's just something that somebody's saying to be like, this is designed to truly upset you.
Yes.
But it doesn't actually really get to me because
Yeah.
I did used to shoot heroin. So like, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that comes with the territory you're going to get.
Yeah.
People will say mean things.
What's the
anything.
meanest thing somebody said to you?
I don't really know. You know what one sticks with me? This is comedy related, which stinks, but when we were doing that show, I've talked about it so much, but when we were doing that show and I asked a guy what his job was when he was in the military, and he was like, I was a mail clerk. And I went, you're a fucking pussy. And then he went, that was mean. that one sticks with me so much. I think I lose sleep about that sometimes just because it's like such a simple, like, that was really mean of you. And I'm like, oh, fuck, dude, it was, dude.
That making something real
is
like, it's kind of the best comeback when somebody's trying to joke around.
Yeah,
and just being
yeah.
like, damn, dude, that was me. Why would you say that to me? It's like, fuck, man, I was kidding, dude. I'm so sorry.
Oh, a girl. This one actually bothered me too. I have another one that bothered me when I was a freshman in high school. I was in science class, and a girl I was sitting next to, April, asked me. I had like really bad acne and braces and a Jufro and glasses, and she was like, "Have you even kissed a girl?" And that one got to me.
Because
no, I had at that point.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I had. But it was just like you don't think I've kissed a... And then she's like, who? And then I was like...
She goes to another school.
Yeah.
But yes, I've kissed her.
Yeah, she goes to the kindergarten. She's in kindergarten. No.
It's Emily from kindergarten.
Yeah, it's...
I promise.
No, it is a...
Yeah.
That one was the one that got to me.
That is a mean thing. What's the meanest thing you think you've said to somebody else?
I've said pretty horrible things.
Yeah.
I've said pretty horrible things when I was younger and like mad at people. Things that I like regret. Like I remember this one's, it's not really necessarily fun, but like my dad was my dad was working he was working for the city. He used to be a guy that would fix water main breaks, so he would go and be a part of the crew that would like break into the earth and the road and then shovel out and get to the point where there was a water pipeline leaking. He would go in there in the middle of the water and like go in and like fix the pipes and whatever. Mm-hmm. And he would do that in the middle of the winter, and it would be like negative 30 degrees in Iowa with wind chill, and he'd be soaking wet and freezing and whatever. And when he was doing that one time, his vertebrae collapsed in his neck, and he was in tons of pain because it was like doing a main break and doing like all this crazy shit. And then he became addicted to he'd take painkillers, and he was also drinking. So he became like addicted to drink. He became addicted to Percocets and was drinking all the time. And then I was just being a little rat, and he was home alone. He was waiting to get surgery, and they put him on workers like comp or whatever for like a week or 2 weeks until his surgery. And I was home with him during my winter break, and me and him just like weren't getting along at all. And then like I like made fun of him for not being able to work. And I was like,
oh, man.
Why are you fucking... I was like, I remember what I said. I was like, why are you fucking here right now? Because he told me I had to, like, go do, like, the dishes and then, like, take care of, like, stuff, like, chores that I needed to do.
Stuff that, like, he couldn't do because his vertebrae was collapsed.
Yeah, and then I was I was just like, why are you fucking here right now? I was like, you can't even work and provide for this family. And it's, like, crazy. I was just in, like, 8th grade. And he's like... I was in the most brutal conditions doing like the worst job so you can afford to play World of Warcraft for $15 a month, you little fucking piece of shit.
Dude,
like just
that
crazy.
sucked. I one time said to my dad, who when I talk about my dad is my stepdad, and I remember being very young and saying like, I'm glad you're not my real dad.
Oof.
Oh, what a mean
deep, dude.
Dude, it's like just like being like a kid and like just not even. It's so.
Yeah, you don't understand the weight of what you're saying.
But like, bro, that might be to date the meanest thing I've ever said to anybody in my life.
Yeah, dude. There's things like that. My mom one time told me I asked her when I was going through, this is the saddest thing in the world because I have to re-home her, and she's sitting here cuddling with me. Can you see it on camera?
No.
Thank God. I'd cry if I rewatched it in a couple weeks. But my mom I was confiding to my mom how I was like sad about like my acne and my braces and everything. I'm like, I just feel like I'm like so ugly right now. And then she was like, no, you're not ugly. She was doing the mom thing. And then she was like trying to relate to me. And she was like, you know, when I was about your age, I had to get glasses, and they were big circular glasses, and I had braces, and I had like the glasses were circular and the rims were really wide, and people used to think I looked like an owl. Like that's what they would make, and I just started laughing. and then I would.
You were like, "Ha, whoo!"
Yeah, literally. I literally was like, "Whoo!" And it's like, yo, kids are dickheads.
Yeah,
dude. Like, kids are like.
It's funny for her to be like, you know, I don't talk about this a lot.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, this happened, and people said I looked like an owl, and you're just immediately like,
what?
Woo! Yeah, so fun, dude. That's so mean. That's so mean. Kids are the worst.
Kids
bro.
are such little rats, dude. Even like I had a friend who, his mom or his baby mama and him broke up, and then he would see his daughter on the weekends, like every other weekend or whatever. And I was with him one day, and she was like 6. And out of nowhere, when they were hanging out, she was like, can I have like a Capri Sun, or can I have like a juice? And he was like, no, you can't have a juice. Like you had a juice earlier. And then she went, this is why I like hanging out with mom better. And then I was like, yo.
Whoa.
Like, how are you that cognitive? Like,
Yeah.
to like do a deep cut.
How do you know to be that manipulative so young?
Yeah. Like what? Like,
because like that's the thing. You just say
that's a sociopathic thing to say.
Yeah. She's like,
I'm gonna get my way.
well, mom gives me a juice box when she's on the phone with her new boyfriend. So
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, when Brad comes over, Brad's mom's new boyfriend, he gives me as
Crazy.
many juices as I want.
Bro, I was talking to a couple. So I met this group of people, the people that I went and played baseball with from Oklahoma, and they're amazing. And I was like, actually, like, do I like these people? You know, and then I called it. I was talking to the guy. He was telling me how they were married and all that, and but they were young, and I was like, that's crazy because you guys strike me as, and correct me if I'm wrong, a young poly couple from Oklahoma City. And he was like, nailed it. I was like, I fucking knew it, dude. I knew it. And then later that night, we were all out, and she was talking about how like the girl was talking about how she was in the car with her kid and her mom, or her mother-in-law maybe, and she has a boyfriend who's separate from her husband that was like one of her husband's friends, which is how they met, which is crazy. Which it's just a different life. It's so
I'll
wild.
kill you.
Yeah,
like, you know what I
yeah.
mean? It's like, hey, like if at any point in time, if one of my friends were to be like starting to hook up with my ex-girlfriend or whatever, I would. It doesn't matter how much time would pass. I'd be like, what the fuck, dude?
Well, imagine it's not your ex-girlfriend.
It's your
Imagine
wife.
It's your active wife and mother of your children. But
That's
the
so much
lifestyle they
worse.
choose. But the kid was like, they drove past a street that was called like Doug Street or Doug Alley or something like that, and the guy's name is Doug. In the car with the stepmom was like, oh, that's my mom's boyfriend. Where my because you saw the name. And then the mom was like, no, that's your dad is. And he was like, no, that's mom's boyfriend. And then like the girl was like, yeah, that is my boy. You know, like I was just like thinking about it, and I was like, that's such a crazy situation to be in.
Yeah,
Like,
especially for like a child.
yeah, it's
Think about how
weird.
confusing it is. Like, well, my dad and my mom's boyfriend, they came over and hang out. Almond. What you got? Over there?
I don't know. There's just bags of stuff over there. I don't know what's in them. But yeah. Well, it's one of those things where it's like I don't know that it's inherently detrimental long term, but it's definitely going to be a different psychology that kid operates with.
Yeah, dude. There's definitely there's gonna be a point in his life where he's like,
because there's a ton of like kids of like 70s Woodstock hippies now, and it's not like the world isn't. Well, I was gonna say it's not like the world's in shambles. It's like,
boy, is it?
Yeah, but yeah, it's just such a weird thing to like be like a 6-year-old and be like, my mom has a boyfriend and it's not my dad.
Yeah,
like what?
And he's black and dad doesn't like it.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Hey.
African American.
Yeah. There's a street. I don't know why, but the passing the Doug Street or whatever reminded me. There's a street nearby it's called Canal Street. And boy, do I love going. Oh, it's C. Anal Street.
That's your bit?
That's my bit.
In the car with Ariel,
Yeah,
who's heard it 100 times.
Yeah, I go, look, I was like, oh, should I turn down C. Anal? And then she's like, no, you should go home.
She's like, no, we've talked about this.
No, I actually, you know how I feel about this. You know, Dylan Carlino was talking, and it was so funny. Dylan Carlino, if you haven't listened to the episode that he was on, but he's a gay stand-up comic out here, and he was talking about guys, like white guys, who want to do like anal with their girlfriends. They just like want to beat the shit out of their girlfriend. That's like all it is. He's like, you just
about that?
No, he was just riffing about it with me in the green room, and he was like, all it is you being mean to your girlfriend. And you just are like wanting that.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
She's like, but it's gonna hurt. And you're like, but babe, please.
But it's my birthday.
It's the same as being like, let me punch you in the fucking face. She's like, that's gonna hurt. It's like, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Babe. Seriously, it's just like this one time.
It was like one.
I'm not even gonna hit you all the way.
I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna open hand slap you. It's not even
just
gonna be
tip?
just the fingers.
Yeah, just the fingers.
It's just the smells.
Oh, gross. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
I tried to look that video up.
Did you really?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
You just Googled, it's just the smells.
It's just the smells. I bet you could find it.
Oh, you definitely could.
I'm sorry for the least excited. Like, the last 2 minutes is like just us silently watching porn.
And then my dog barking. We're just gonna cut that part out.
Please.
But it's my birthday.
It's the same as being like, let me punch you in the fucking face. She's like, that's gonna hurt. It's like, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday.
Babe. Seriously, it's just like this one time.
It was like one.
I'm not even gonna hit you all the way.
I'm gonna slap you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna open hand slap you. It's not even
just
gonna be
the tip?
just the fingers.
Yeah, just the fingers. Yeah.
It's just the smells.
Oh, gross. I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, well,
I tried to look that video up.
Did you really?
Yeah, I couldn't find it.
You just Googled, it's just the smells.
It's just the smells. I bet you could find it.
Oh, you definitely could.
I'm sorry for the least excited. Like, the last 2 minutes is like just us silently watching porn.
And then my dog barking. We're just gonna cut that part out.